Killers of the Flower Moon, the new epic by Martin Scorsese, had its red carpet premiere, and some of the Osage consultants were on the red carpet talking about the film. And what do you mean, we, white man? Paula here on the Latino Slant. 2 videos a day, Monday through Saturday. And if you want to help this channel, want to give us a tip, support us, but don't want to give a dime to YouTube, you can right now. PayPal. We got the link. Go to it right now. It's in the video box description. Help this channel out. Every little cent counts. Well, I've been waiting for this film. A lot of people have been waiting for this film, this 3.5 hour drama to drop. Finally, it is here. We will have an out of the theater reaction. We will also have a spoiler discussion and hopefully get some other people who have seen the film as well to talk about it. So, when I saw this post from film critic Rosa Para, who's a friend of the channel, and she's always polite, always wise with her posts, and I saw it, I wanted to hear what was going on. And what am I talking about? Well, this gentleman, Osage language consultant Christopher Cote, shares his complicated feelings about Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, let me back up. Rosa Para had said, and you can catch her on the channel here as well, a perspective and opinion worth listening. Okay. So I'm like, I'm down. I'm always down to listen. I'm always down to listen, especially when it's something as connected to kind of the indigenous Indian connection that as a Mexican, I'm very, very always very interested to hear what our native brothers and sisters have to say, especially when it comes to Hollywood, television and film. Man, these guys just barely exist. There's, maybe a hit movie or a hit film every 10 years. So I hit the play. Let's go to it right now. Let's hear what Mr. Cote has to say. Okay, let's hit that volume.
I was nervous about the release of the film. Now that I've seen it, I have some strong opinions. As an Osage, I really wanted this to be from the perspective of Molly and what her family experienced. But I think it would take an Osage to do that.
Okay, so speaking as someone who didn't read the book, I have no experience, haven't seen the film yet. I just going off the title and the trailer, this is not a story of the Osage people who were systematically knocked off in the 1920s because oil was discovered on their land. I don't think this is the point of view of the story is told from them solely per se. It looks very much like it is from the white person's perspective. Leonardo DiCaprio, De Niro's characters. So, I mean, I'm just as a moviegoer, as a film goer, right? And then as someone who's got that connected history, I'm like, okay, well, you know, I don't know why that is surprising him. Maybe as a consultant, and from what I did hear, guys, is that the script in its first iterations was even more so on the perspective of DiCaprio's character, less on the indigenous, on the Osage, and maybe it was even worse. Maybe just just really didn't show them one dimensionally. I don't know. I did hear that they had to do a major revision, that they did. So maybe he was expecting more. Sounds like it.
Martin Scorsese not being Osage, I think he did a great job representing our people. But this story is being told, this history is being told almost from the perspective of Ernest Burkhart. And they kind of give him this conscience and they kind of depict that there's love. But when somebody conspires to murder your entire family, that's not love. That's not love. that's just beyond abuse. And
Okay, so it sounds like there's even some spoilers here, so I do apologize. We're going to talk about that because he's given us insight to the story in, I'd assume, is one of the white characters and the love connection made with the indigenous woman. So is it at the end of the day a plot all along just to marry into the family and get their land and in the the ultimate betrayal? Probably, which would I hate to say it, but it does make for great drama, great conflict, and great movie watching. Is it a tragedy, a massacre of of how ugly humans can be to each other? Absolutely. Are we still doing it nowadays? And some places in this world at this current time? Yes, unfortunately, we are, and that is equally horrific as well. Uh, so I feel this. I feel for this brother, and I'm already feeling for the Osage. Um, I don't think they're going to show the Osage in a bad light. What do you guys think? But I want to finish up. I mean, this gentleman worked on the film, so for him to say, I mean, he gives Scorsese props, but he's like, "Yo, here we go."
I think in the end, the question that you can be left with is how long will you be complacent with racism? How long will you go along with something and not say something, not speak up? How long will you be
Wow.
complacent? And I think that's because this film was not made for an Osage audience. It was made for everybody not Osage.
Okay.
For those that have been disenfranchised, they can relate. But for
Mhm.
other countries, that have their acts and their histories of oppression,
Mm.
um, this is an opportunity for them to ask themselves this question of morality. And so that's how I feel.
I mean, whether you agree with him or not, I mean, this is you can't say it well. It's more so well said, especially on a red carpet where so many people go on there and say stupid, idiotic things that we report on. This is a very intelligent, well thought out gentleman, and hats off to you, Mister Cote. How long will you stay complacent with racism? Man, that's heavy. That's heavy, and I think I've always thought as I trudge through Chicano history and American history that anyone that's got beef with modern America and and beef with our history, it's our native people and what they have to endure, had to endure, still have to endure. A lot of these people have lost their languages, have lost their rituals, have lost their customs. They're desperately trying to not only return to that, but get their people, their tribes out of poverty, out of alcoholism, out of drug abuse. So yeah, that is that's a little, that's a little good, reality check. It's a gut punch to hear this from this gentleman on the red carpet. And if you go a little further down here, the other there was another consultant, Janice Carpenter, who also shared mixed feelings about the film. And she said, "We have so many of our tribe people that are in the movie, and that's wonderful to see them. But then there are some things that are pretty hard to take." So at this point, and we'll wrap it up here, guys, because I want you guys to start commenting right now. At this point, I'm gonna hold off on these final thoughts until I see the film. What I'm gonna take this quote here in something that's hard to see your people. I'm gonna take it as if um I were a moviegoer and maybe I had a relative who didn't survive the Holocaust. And I'm going to see a movie about the Holocaust. Or I am someone who survived directly and had to flee a country because of massacre and genocide and political oppression. I'm gonna go see a movie on massacre, genocide, and political oppression. That is gonna be tough to watch, no matter how good the drama is. And you know what? Oh, I got even one more for you. I am a son of a father and a brother who I lost to the drug cartels in Mexico and had to flee. And I'm gonna go see a movie about just that. Tell you what, I'm not gonna see those movies. I'm gonna skip. There's some movies where after saw them, I will never see them again. Not because they were bad, not because they didn't have great drama, because it hit me to my soul so much, I can't emotionally endure it again. And I have to tell you, that's what great art does, whether it's film, a book, artwork, a poem. That's what art can do. Some say that's what art is supposed to do all the time is to disrupt and provoke. I say there's a lot of things, including those. I want to hear your thoughts right now. I will have those reviews coming out right out of the theater, honest reviews. And this is now becoming a hot talking point, which I really, really am glad to hear and see these different voices on the red carpet. All right, my name is Paulie. This is the Latino Slant. Wherever you're at, keep it fuerte. Gracias.